And what I want to do real quickly is I want to turn this thing over to another leader within our community. And we have a host of leaders. And moving forward in our locker room talk, you're going to be hearing from some of the most talented leaders across the globe. And I met this gentleman through this particular project right here. And when you meet people within minutes, you can get a sense of what they're about. And I got a sneaky suspicion we're going to become the best of friends. He's already a pillar in our community in a very short period of time. I want you guys to hear from Alan Delaney. Hey, Alan, take it away, my brother.
Wow. Okay. So I was talking about somebody today about belief. Okay. It's a good thing Greg doesn't believe in what he's saying, right? Because the energy, your screen would explode if there was no more belief there. You know, we've all heard the phrase, faith the size of a mustard seed. That's what we're talking about here. Can move mountains. And I love what you just said, about the doubt part of it, because the reverse is true too. Okay. If you don't have faith the size of a mustard seed, you're never going to have a shot to move the mountain. So I will do my best to follow that up, but I'm telling you right now, man, it's hard to follow Greg Baldwin. I don't know how I got so lucky, but I appreciate you guys having me on the call. So here's the deal, you guys. This happens all the time, and it happens to many of you that are on this call. You get somebody brand new that's working with you and everything else, and they say, how do I approach somebody? What do I say? I got to have a plan. I got to have a script. I got to have a this or that, right? So I'm going to teach a technique today that's called the 3-step setup. Let me go ahead and share my screen if I can. Am I able to do that?
Let's make sure.
Yeah. All right.
Are you?
Yeah, no, not yet.
All right, no problem. I'll make you a co-host here.
I can click the button.
1 second.
Yep.
You're golden.
All right. Let me share the right screen because that's important. Okay. And I think it's this one. Yep. Screen 1. You guys see big words that say gratitude?
Yes.
All right. Gratitude, not attitude. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pop open a little presentation that I made this morning, actually. And hopefully this will add to you guys so we can chit chat about it. Let me go ahead and run it. So don't know whether you see my face. That's not what this is about. This is a technique that is called the 3-step setup. Now I want to be super clear here. This is a technique. All right. Now techniques I'm not in favor of. You guys will always hear me say the following things. I follow a bunch of different guys that have had great success. Ray Higdon is one of them. He has one of my favorite sayings in the marketing space. And that is this: when people join any kind of marketing, they forget how to speak human. Guys, this is just about opening the door with a conversation. What do you say to somebody? Hello is the first thing that I say, or hey, what's up? Or, depending upon who I'm talking to, it might be a little more slanguage than what I just said, but just be yourself. So here's the deal. If I can teach you a way, if you're having struggles with this, if I can teach you a way where your prospects would be eager to listen to what it is that you're trying to say to them, what you're going to share with them, would that be a good thing? If it could lower their guard so that they were open before you even begin that conversation, would that be a good thing? It absolutely would be a good thing. And that's what this is designed to do. So this is the 3-step setup. So here's the deal. I would prefer that you take what I'm about to teach you and trash it once you can, okay? Because it needs to be natural. It needs to be conversational. It needs to be yourself. You don't need to be weird about it or use language with your buds that you don't normally use. If you use words like dude and what's up and all that stuff, remain that person, because if you're not, all of a sudden, we've heard the phrase this: we all garden, we all pick flowers in a walled garden. People's guards are up. Why wouldn't they be? Look, we're getting inundated with information who nobody knows what to believe anywhere anymore, right? I mean, you got it coming from the left, the right, the top, the bottom, the TV, the internet, the Instagrams. You can Google, Bingify, Yahoo, something. Who knows what you're going to get? So this was a technique. If you have to have a track to run on, you definitely can use this and it works. So let's go ahead and go through it. So their 3 steps are this. First of all, why? Why are you doing this, right? That's the number 1 thing. The second step is that it's a big deal. And I think you just heard from Greg's passion how big this deal actually is. But more than that, that you're all in, that you're committed to it, that you have all of that belief that Greg was just sharing with everybody. And then the third thing, and this is the most important part, and it's the hardest thing for people, don't care. I don't care if you want to join me or not, but I'd feel like a heel if I didn't bring you the information so you could make your own mind up. Look, so many people do not celebrate the activity. Look, if you've set a goal for yourself to contact 3 people a day, 10 people a day, whatever it is, through whatever means of reaching out, whether you're old school like me and you get on the phone and you want to have a conversation, or whether you're new school and you're reaching out through Facebook or any other social media, if you do the number that you set for yourself, whether it's 3, 10, or 100, that is your celebration. You're celebrating your activity because you did what you said that you were going to do. Now, if nobody joined you, that doesn't mean that you failed. That means that you succeeded, got them out of the way. Next, right? So celebrate your activity. That's what this is about. And that's why we can say, I don't really care whether you join me or not. And I'll play off of something that Greg said. I'm not looking for everybody. I'm looking for the right bodies. I'm looking for the guys and the women that see the vision the way that we see the vision. Guys, we get a few players on a team and it is GO, game over, right? So let's go through each one of these steps. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to share with you the words, okay, how to do this. Now, these are going to be my words, okay? Don't be like Mike, right? You're not going to be like me. I'm not going to be like you. You are good just the way that you are, okay? So we're going to talk about the psychology of this setup and why it is, okay? So mine might sound something like this. Hey, man, thanks for meeting me for coffee. Or it might be, in today's world, and depending upon where you live, it might be say, thanks for taking my call, or thanks for hopping on this Zoom, or thanks for Skyping with me, okay? Whatever it is, right? I've got some huge news that I want to share with you, or something like I have something big that I want to share with you. Now, everybody's why is different. Mine has to do with my family. Mine has to do with time. Okay, yours might be something else. Mine sounds something like this. Okay, and I didn't write this down on purpose, because I want it to sound natural, and I don't want you to try and have my why. My why isn't going to matter to you, right? My why matters to me. So I'll say something like this. Hey, Jim, thanks for joining me on this call today. Listen, you know that I've owned a roofing company, a storm restoration company for some time. And my family and I, my wife, my daughter, myself, we made a decision that we could make more money if I took that company up north. Here's the problem. Where that company is 12 hours away by car from my home. And for the last 10 years, I have gone away from my family anywhere from 8 to 10 months a year. Now, you're probably going to ask yourself, are you traveling home during that time? The answer is rarely. Okay. As a matter of fact, this is the very first year that I'm going to be home for not only my wife's birthday, but our anniversary on October the 19th as well. Okay, so here's the reality. It has been good. I am grateful. We have had a lifestyle, or at least my family has had a lifestyle that I've been able to provide. The money is fantastic. But here's where it falls short. Okay, if you're looking at my Facebook life and you see me steering a yacht, yeah, that was fun. You see my wife, my daughter, and myself in exotic places, wonderful vacations. Yeah, that's the Facebook life. That's 2 months, 3 months out of the year. That is it. The rest of the time, it's nose to the grindstone so that I can provide the life that I wanted from. I am missing out on the things that are important to me at home. My dogs don't even know who I am when I come home once a year, right? It's insane. So I have been looking for something for the past 6 years. Now, if you're a faithful person, you could say, I've been praying for something. Either one works, right? I'll say, I've been looking for something for the last 6 years, and I have found it. Okay, that's step one. All right, that's it. Your why could be based on a bunch of different things. Okay, it could be that you have tons of debt that you're trying to get out of. Maybe you're trying to put your kids, it's college years, and you didn't plan the best and you want to earn some college money. Maybe, you have parents that are struggling and they don't have, the care that they need, and you want to pitch into that. I love what Greg said earlier, and I'll play back off of that. Who has the right to say that my cause is garbage or that it doesn't exist? I mean, it doesn't even make sense that, whoever that person was, God bless them. I hope they succeed in everything that they do. In other words, the person that wrote the email, but in reality, they don't get to judge me. Okay. They don't get to make up their mind about my reason for doing this. Right. So here's the reality. Maybe it's all those things. Maybe you have daycare bills because you have little ones, or maybe you're trying to put your kids through private school because of all this weirdness going on in the schools. Right. But here's what it has to do. Here's the psychology. Number one, you got to keep it real. It's got to be your real why. That is it. What that story I just told you is absolutely true. I've been disappearing on my family for a long time. Yeah, we Zoom all the time. We talk all the time. Ain't the same. All right. I mean, I got a phone call, 2 years ago? The water heater had blown up. My wife doesn't know about blown up water heaters, right? She's flooding. She's crying. I hate the fact that you're gone. You name it. I got it all. Okay. That doesn't make me feel good, regardless of the money that I earn and the life that I'm providing financially, because there's more than just that, right? To be able to provide in life. So you got to keep it real. You got to be vulnerable. Okay. You got to be willing to share. You got to let those walls down of yourself. You got to be able to out yourself, like I did on a leadership call that I have at 9 o'clock every morning. You got to be able to call yourself out. Look, if you don't call yourself out, you're not admitting, that you're not perfect. So be vulnerable. And above all, keep it raw, keep it real. Okay. You got to keep it raw. It's got to be the truth. All right. And then the last part of step 1 is this. Okay. It's a transition. Okay. You were looking for something super important. You were looking for something and you found it. Remember, that's how that went. Okay. I came out of it. I said, I was looking for something and I found it. It's my golden ticket. Okay. And that is basically it for step 1. Okay. So what we did was this. We created a big problem. This is a Hollywood script, by the way. All right. We created a big problem in the eyes of the person that's listening. And it is a big problem. That's what I said. Keep it real. Right. And I was looking for an answer for that problem and I found it. Super simple. And this is the most complicated part of the whole thing. It's amazing to me how many people don't know how to be vulnerable in their why. But the reality is the more vulnerable you can be, the quicker that you can do that. We've all heard that. Develop a why that'll make you cry. I don't know that I buy all that, but here's what I do know. You've got to have a big reason to do big things. If you don't have a big reason to do big things, you never will. Okay. So let's move into step 2. Step 2 is a big deal. All in. All right. You got to be all in. People follow people that are committed. That's why there's generals and that's why there's soldiers. That's why there's shepherds and that's why there's sheep. People follow people that are all in and know where they're going. That's why there's leadership and that's why there isn't. All right. So I just got through saying, hey, look, I was looking for something, then I found it. Now here's how that goes. Okay. So I was looking for something, man, and I found it. It's my golden ticket. I'm all in. Now this thing that I found, it is a huge deal. It's growing all over the world at a record pace. In fact, it's a viral social phenomenon. And I've already done all the research. Very important line, in my opinion. I've already done all the research. And here's what I found. I am all in. I'm pushing my chips in. This is going to solve what I just told you was a problem in my life. Okay. So that's all we did. Super simple. Big deal, all in. What did we say? Okay. It's a huge deal. It's growing all over the world. It's a viral social phenomenon. I did all the research and I'm convinced that this is my golden ticket. That's all. Super simple. Big deal, all in. All right. And then to the third and final step, we don't care whether they join us or not. We're just wanting to present the information to them, to get them to listen to what we have to say. And we haven't said anything about anything yet, right? We've said why we're doing this. It's a big deal. I'm committed. So it's safe to come along because you're not going to be out there by yourself. I'm all in. Jump in my bandwagon, right? And so now the next transition is this. You just said, hey, I'm all in. This is golden ticket. So here's the thing, Jim. If I'm talking to a guy named Jim, obviously, here's the thing, Jim. I'm not sure how this is going to impact you. You may love it or you may not get it right away. All I know is that you're my good friend. I completely respect you. And I'm going to put this in front of a ton of people. And I wanted to give you the opportunity to be one of my first. Is that cool? It's literally that simple. Now, you could add something in there if you wanted. You could let them know. Again, we're trying to get them to let their guard down here and say, hey, man, it doesn't matter either way. look, don't tell me you're going to think about it or you got to talk to your other significant other, whatever that is. Okay. Just be real with me. I'm being real with you. Here's the thing. I'm not sure how this is going to impact you. Here's what I want you to know. One way or the other, it isn't going to affect our friendship one way or the other. Don't care. All right. We're always friends first. We're always going to have that relationship. But I'm not sure how it's going to impact you. You may love it. You may not get it right away. There's some language there. It's not you may love it. You may hate it. You may like it. You may not like it. It's you may love it. You may not get it right away. Why? Because they might not be in a season of their life right now to accept the goodness that is this idea. It's just the reality, right? Okay, so you may not love it, or you may love it, you may not get it right away. It should be how that should be brought. All I know is that you're my good friend and I respect you, man. And that's why I'm reaching out to you. I wanted to give you, I'm going to put this in front of a ton of people. I wanted to give you the opportunity to be one of my first. Is that cool? Nobody says ever in the history of me using this technique, no, that's not cool, man. That's not cool at all. I don't want to jump on your bandwagon. I don't want to make a bunch of money. I don't have any bills. I like a less than life. No, never happens. You end it with, is that cool? Everybody says, yeah, man, that's cool. All right. So guys, that's all that it is. You really don't care whether they join you or not. You want to be able to present their information. That's what this is. This is the 3-step setup. Again, your why, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be raw. You have to be truthful. You have to be transparent. You got to make up the one that's real for you, right? Okay. You got to tell them that it's a big deal. You're all in. You're committed because you've done the research. You see what's happening. You're on board and you're going to go with this thing. And then last but not least, it's okay if they don't want to join you. Super okay. And it is okay. You know, this is one of the only industries, guys, where the following thing happens. I've got a bunch of friends. None of them are in the roofing business. Some are. None of them own roofing companies. And I don't get irritated because they don't want to own a roofing company. Look, if somebody doesn't want to come along with me in Co-op Crowd, hey, God bless you. I'm here to help you, man. You need help moving your furniture next week? I'm here. I know the relationships are important. Just because you're not doing what I'm doing right now, or maybe even down the road, means nothing to me. That's why it's safe for me to approach anybody, because the ones that are led to me by God, I'm a faith-filled person, they'll be there. This information may be an answer to a prayer for many. I'm just looking for the ones that are praying. And that's the deal right there, guys.